Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So we're going to be talking about our separation experience, and this is a very interesting one. It's a very spiritual one. It's very deep. So we separated, right? But I feel like separation, it can either cause y'all to grow together or it can cause you to grow apart. Our separation was the best thing that happened to our relationship. If we didn't go through that like 4-month separation, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have healed through the things that we've healed through. We just wouldn't.
I think the separation all depends on the work that each person does. It's either going to be great because you're going to do the work and you're going to heal and you're going to grow, or it's going to end up in divorce because you're not going to grow. You're not going to heal. Or you might decide that you want to heal in different directions.
I think it all depends in how you look at it. You can go into a separation with the mindset of, we just need space. I don't know what this is going to look like after we get this space, but I know that right now in this moment, we both just need time apart, and that's okay. We got married when I was 19. I've grown into a woman with this man. I've never been by myself. I went from home to being in the military to being with him. So I needed space. I needed time. I needed God to sit me down by myself, to look at myself, which is why our separation happened the way that it did. In the beginning, it was very toxic, though, because there was so much hurt and there was so much emotion, and we were just hurting each other with our words. We were just, and we've never experienced that. We've never been in a situation to where we yelled at each other and we were just going back and forth. That wasn't our relationship.
It was during that time.
Yeah, it really caused all of these emotions and all of this hurt. And it was a lot, right? So the reason that we separated was because there was unhealed trauma that we both had that we didn't know that we had, right? So it goes back to our infidelity. So I thought that I had moved past it, moved forward, but you can't truly move past something unless you heal from it. I don't know how anybody does that. I don't know how you can move forward with anything. I don't know how you can move past something if you don't heal from it, right? So I didn't know
ignoring. That's what most people do.
Ignoring or numbing, because that's what I did. I numbed it, so I didn't even feel it, right? But at some point, those feelings are going to come up. You can't not feel for forever. That stuff is going to resurface, right? So we were met with this situation to where he was trying to get on the front end of something because he didn't want me to think that he was doing something he wasn't supposed to do, right? And I actually didn't think that because I was moving forward, all these things. However, I didn't heal and I didn't feel and I didn't come to terms with what truly happened in the beginning of our relationship and how that impacted me. And he knows subconsciously he's feeling like, you don't really trust me. It just did not work. And we got to a point to where he didn't want to be with me anymore. He was like, I don't want to be in a relationship if you can't walk in trust. You're blaming me for something, all these things. I thought he was crazy, y'all. I thought he was going through a midlife crisis because it really hit me out of nowhere, right? This was 3 months after we had our daughter. And it was one of those situations where I'm like, hey, it was a random conversation. I'm like, hey, what's wrong with you? I feel like you're disconnected emotionally. And he was just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be with you. And I'm like, what? It just was completely. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we're fine. What is going on? It was just a lot, y'all, right? But we ended up separating, right? There was hurtful words that were said. However, it was needed for both of us. It really was. You want to talk about your experience first?
So my experience was, I felt like, and I said this, if I ever feel like I'm so emotionally disconnected that I feel I can step out on you or anything like that, I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to do this all over again. And I think that's what we do as men. Well, I don't think it's just men. It's just people, period. Yeah. All right, I got an emotional connection with this person, but I feel this type of way and I got this hurt and this trauma that's related to this person, but I also want to feel loved and I want to have this sense of, I don't know, just a feeling of love. So we end up testing the waters in other places, and that ain't it. You got to do one or the other. You got to be all in or all out. So I told her that the last time we had an infidelity situation, I was like, I'm never going to put you through that again. If I feel like I can't do this, I'm not getting what I need from you, I'm just going to leave. And so that's how it felt. And when that happened, me trying to get in front of everything, because of, I still had some unhealed trauma as well, but because of how I felt internally, I internalized it, what she was saying and how she was feeling as, see, you still don't trust me. For me, it felt very similar because I was dealing with similar, familiar, unhealed trauma. So that's the reason why it caused me to lash out and why I was just like, bro, forget it. Like, I'm done with it. So it got real bad, real fast. And it got to the point where we could no longer stay in the same house. And she was like, yeah, you got to get up out of here. So I left.
But you know why?
What?
It was when we talk about that healing part, right? Realizing and knowing I'm not able to move on from this while I'm still here in this space with you. So that's really important. When you are trying to move past something and move forward in healing, because the only way to move past something is to move forward in healing, right? So when you are trying to do that and you are in that space, you have to be self-aware and very mindful of what you need. There was no way that I thought I could. We have kids. You could still be here. We just not going to be together like until we figure it. We had a whole life together, right? We together 10 plus years. There's things that we have to figure out, right? But at first I'm like, no, you can still stay here. We just going to like do our own thing. But nope, that's not going to work at all. Because how can I sit here and see you every single day and we're dealing with all this stuff? You have to be so aware of what you need because you are important. Your healing journey and your healing process is important. It's needed. You have to go through it and you have to be mindful of what you need during that time when you're going through it. So for me, that's what it was. It was like, I'm going to stay here with the kids. You got to go because this here with you every day and seeing you every day, I'm not going to be able to do that.
And I think that's just for everybody, period. Like, healing takes place in seclusion. You didn't grow with somebody else. You grew by yourself. Even if you're a fraternal twin, you still grew in seclusion. You had your own sacks. You grew in the darkness. You had to be in the silence. You saying it like I'm not a fraternal twin. That's why I said it. But it's still, you had your own sack, right? Like your own place. You know what I'm saying? To grow. So that's the same thing that we have to do. We came in this world alone. We leave alone. We're God in human form. At our highest version of ourselves. That's God. So we got to learn how to be by ourselves so that we can get back to the God that we are. It says in the Bible, for we're gods, but we'll die like men. So we have to realize that. And it was really good for her and me, like getting to be by ourselves, like truly by yourself and like deal with your own stuff, figuring out why I react like this, why I do these things when I feel this way, what's going on. And that was really great for both of us. So that's important. Do you need to be in seclusion or can you heal in the presence of the one that's caused you trauma? You got to know it. People are trying to heal, but you're in the midst of a war. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, we've done that and we can speak to that experience because that wasn't true healing. I thought that I forgave him and moved forward and moved past something, but I didn't know what real healing was. I didn't know what that actually meant for myself, right? So I said, okay, yeah, I forgive you. Let's just move forward. But that was me numbing. In order to move forward, you have to heal. Moving forward requires healing. If you don't heal, you're not moving forward. You're going backwards or you're just staying the same. So my definition of, yeah, like it's okay, like we're just move forward. Back then, that was, oh, I forgive you. I'm just numbing it. Now moving forward isn't healing. Everything that I do, if I'm moving forward in healing. That's the only way to move forward. How can you move forward from something if you haven't faced it and you haven't healed from it? Yeah. Does that make sense?
And because I had done so much healing, because I started my process when I was 28, I thought I'm good. I'm completely healed. But I didn't realize that, yes, I've done a lot of healing, but I still had more healing to do. Right. And I still had areas to work on. But it's crazy because I heard Cam Newton, he had an interview with the Nuri Muhammad guy. And he talked about like, bro, I'm disciplined now. Like I can get in this gym, I can lose this weight, I can do all of this stuff. Like, but when it comes to like women, you know what I'm saying? Like those flaws when it comes to places where we're addicted or have like wounds.
Right.
Well, dang, it's like all of that discipline that I have from working out and playing ball and doing, achieving all of these things. It's like it goes out the window. And that was something that I had to realize for myself, like still had more healing to do. Right. Have I come a long way? Yeah. Like if I can't be like, bro, I'm good on that, there's a problem there.
Yeah. Like if there's emotion attached to that, like all of these feelings attached to that incident or whatever's happening, like that's when you know you got to like dig deep within that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you got to figure out where those emotions are coming from.
Yep.
And so I feel like that separation that we went through, it was so important and it was so needed for us to move forward in our healing. That separation was everything for us. We needed to be in that seclusion. We needed space from each other. We needed to be by ourselves. We needed to hear from God by ourselves.
A lot of great things happened during that time of seclusion. It really did. Like when I really was just buckled down and decided to go internal and figure out, all right, what else can I fix? What else can I heal from?
Do you feel like you did that while we were separated though? Or are you talking about
I did. I started that process while we were separated.
Much towards the back end?
Yeah, towards the
Yeah,
back
because,
end.
that beginning time, y'all, that joint was toxic. I know you ain't do that in the beginning. You talking
Nah,
about towards the back end?
that was
Okay.
toward the back end, yeah, when things started to come back together. But
Yeah.
like, I was raised in church all my life. You think I ever fasted? No, never. Like, I was never motivated to fast. My mom
Yeah.
been trying to get me to fast all my life. Like, fast with the church. No, I'm gonna eat some food. That don't even make sense. Like, I fasted for the first time during that time. And I think that caused me to be able to be more clear and to make certain decisions and to align myself with certain synchronicities, you know what I'm saying, to bring us
Yeah.
back together. Because I had the urge to go home, back to Nashville. So I went back to visit my folks and just kind of clear my head, get into a different environment, and didn't have any plans on it, but I decided to go to church that day. It was a Sunday. And it's so wild because I never made it into the sanctuary. Like, I went to the bathroom. I saw one of my old friends. He's a pastor. And we started talking. This is before the service. I get into the bathroom. We talking. Halfway through the service, the one that did our first counseling, he comes into the bathroom. So we having like a whole conversation and meeting, like a raw conversation in the midst of this church bathroom. And before we knew it, it was people that came in before service and then they came back in after service, like the whole service that went by. And we just had this whole great conversation. And like, it motivated me to be like, all right, just be willing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to know how it's going to go. I wasn't condemned by them at all. It was very open, raw, and honest. It's like, all right, you can make this choice. You can make this choice. You can do what you want to do. It's up to you. There's no bad choices. Like, how do you want to move forward in this? And so I was like, all right, I took it into consideration. And so like, there came like a point where you was kind of like probing me to see where I was at. Like,
Oh, yeah. Because I had this feeling. God was telling me, like, you going to get your man back. I got him for you. He right there, right? But he's going to be different, man. But because like I never felt like we were actually getting divorced, right? But yeah, I had texted him and I said something. Like, I don't even know what I said, but it was something to where whatever his response was going to be was going to allow me to know if he was going to be willing or not. And because of who he was, he knew me. Obviously, we've known each other for forever. He knew me and he knew what I was doing. So he decided to give me the opposite answer of what he was actually feeling. So I read whatever the text was. I don't remember. I read it and it was like,
needed to heal.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, oh, well, maybe we're not going to be together. Maybe I'm tripping. And so, but that was his pride and that was his ego of like who he used to be. Just a different type of man, y'all. But yeah.
We had a lot of things that transpired before and during the time we was going through this separation. And this is like something that people should really pay attention to. Like, when you're in that war mindset, like with your spouse or your partner, you can't think clearly. So for us, we had a very impactful situation that happened during that time, and it affected us. It affected like our family in a major way. And so that was coming to a head to where I wanted to deal with that situation, and the way I was going to deal with it wasn't going to be in a good way. And so I went back to her. This is in the midst of us still like not even being on good terms, but I just knew like our home, see her, and I was like, yo, I need you to pray with me right now.
Yeah. And when I look back now, it's such a spiritual moment, right? But it was so beautiful because you could tell like there was so much love that we still had for each other, right? Like that never just went away. Just from the beginning, like our connection is the very spiritual thing, right? So it's like in that moment, nothing else mattered. Like we were two people that loved each other, that cared about each other. And I prayed for him and we talked through it. And that was that. Like it was like everything that we had said, everything that we've been through, like none of that mattered. In this moment, we were two people that remembered that like, this is somebody I love. This is somebody I care about. Like, this is someone I have shared my life with. This is someone I have children with, that I started a family with. Like it was a beautiful moment. Like it really was. And that's why I say like our journey and our path is so spiritual and it's a God thing. Like it really is. And when you can look at things from that level and you can realize it's so deep and it's so spiritual versus looking at things on a surface level, man, like gonna benefit from having God as your foundation, because that's our story. Like if we wouldn't have came together in prayer and both of us saw the God within us, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. And I don't want people to have things misunderstood. Like, all right, it's got to be like this religious thing. Like, we're not tied into religion how we used to be. We're now tied directly into God. So it wasn't that I needed to go to church.
Yeah.
I needed to encounter these two people so that we could have a conversation and they could help me see things differently.
And the church is the people.
Exactly. We are the church. So I don't want people to think like, all right, bro, you got to be this type of way to get these results. Like, bro, all you got to do is love yourself, be in tune with God.
See the God in you so that you can see the God in other people.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Like, she really helped me to not go back to some old ways of thinking and old ways I used to be. So because we both were in the military, she was in the Navy, I was in the Marine Corps, I had a certain mindset and a paradigm, like certain way of doing things and anger and all of that. And she helped me to see, hey, look, wait a minute, let's back it up. Let's do things in a different way. We're going to figure it out. And it was like, that was very much so needed, like lowering of my ego and my pride to go back to her and be in a place of need.
And vulnerability.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm really thankful that, you know, she met me at that place and she was in a good place to be able to do it because it was very monumental for us.
Yeah. It wasn't always like that in the beginning. Like, got COVID, the healer of our home. I do the herbs. I do everything. I take care of everybody, all of that stuff. I didn't do anything for him because I was in that place of like, I'm not doing nothing for you. Like, I'm not taking care of you. I'm not. And to be honest, I didn't feel like I had to because
you know,
at the end
wild?
of the day, it's still like if you love and you care somebody, cool. But I wasn't going to do that. And I can't even say who I am today would look back and I would be like, hey, you should probably go do this and this. But like, I'm not going to do the things that I used to do for you as your wife because you don't even want me to be your wife. So if you think that I'm going to like go over backwards, however, I didn't think that he was actually like about to, you know, and he really, it was very severe for him. And I was just thinking like, all right, because couldn't taste, I couldn't smell, like all that things, but like, I knew what to do in the natural to where we were straight. He was going through it. And
what's wild is like, really didn't, it's like a part of me wanted her to do something, but the other part of me was like, nah, just go through it. Like, you're good. And I probably the pride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just go through it. But like, it was bad, y'all. Taking like 5-6 showers a day, sweating. Like, it was one point I needed to go take a shower and I was just laying on the floor and I couldn't get up. And I had this moment to where I was laying there and I thought like for hours, like I wanted to get up and go take a shower, drenched clothes and sweat. But I had that moment and was like, yeah, I think this might be it. And like, I was succumbing to that thought.
You was okay with going out like that?
That's all I was like, yeah, I think this is it. Like, I'm about to die.
You know, ooh, dang, yeah.
Like, cause I couldn't, like all I had was like a very shallow breath. Anything deeper than that, it like felt like somebody was stabbing me in my chest. So I'm assuming that my lungs were filled with fluid.
Right. And I didn't know none of this, y'all. Like, I didn't know. He was in the room. We have a theater room. He was in the theater room. He would just come out, go to the bathroom, go back. I didn't know nothing that was going on with him.
All of this happened though. So we got to make sure that the timeline makes sense. This happened. So I moved out. I moved back in when I got sick and then I moved back out. All right. So then I was like, when I was on the tail end of it getting better is when I moved out again and then I came back. Cause you remember that?
Right. But he also moved out because I texted him and I told him like brother-in-law he was living with ended up having COVID too. So I was like, you should go over there and y'all both have COVID together. Yeah. And I was like, hey, you should go and you should leave.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But that's where I was at.
This is before me coming back and us
after the
praying
church
together.
thing. Yeah, this happened
after
before that.
So yeah, I wanted that to make sense. So
yeah,
just gotta make sure like the timeline makes sense.
Look, all the toxic stuff happened in the beginning.
Yeah,
the peace and the coming down off of that was towards the back end. But yeah,
I think that was very much so like rebirthing time for me because I remember being like, all right, nah, this ain't it. Like, I'm not dying like this. And so when I had that will to want to live and to carry on, that's when things started changing. And that's when I was able to like fight through that pain to really like cough all of that stuff up. Like, I basically was coughing up all of the stuff that was suffocating me.
And then that's what led you to be able to like, hey, I need to go back home for a minute. After you went through the COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah, it felt like spiritually, like, it seemed like, yeah, I really did. I died right there and became like a new person. Had to like shed this old way of being.
Right. And it's so interesting because we both learned something from that, right? Because you dealt with your things, right? And then for me, it was like God had to give me this piece of like, you're okay, just you. and your children. You are going to be fine. You don't need to be so dependent on him. You don't need to chase him. You don't need to do none of that. You need to be whole within yourself first. And so it was like, once I had that peace and that understanding, after that, I was okay. I was like, whatever God is going to do, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be okay no matter what. Like, no matter what. I'm going to be straight. My kids are going to be straight. Everything is going to be perfectly fine. And that place of peace, I never felt that in all of my years of being married. I always felt like, and that goes back to like childhood traumas, I always felt like I have to have this family. I need to be here. I need him to choose me. I need him to pick me. Like, all of these things, from abandonment issues and all that stuff. And like, I don't think people realize how all of those things, those childhood traumas, affect your relationship. They affect who you are. So therefore they affect how you show up in your relationship. And I was very much this person that was like, please don't leave me. Like, please stay here, because everybody else has left. Your real dad has left. This person, all these other men, right, have left. So it's like, I have this one and I need you to stay here. I need to like show you that I'm worthy of you staying here. And even saying that out loud, like, that's so sad. Like, so sad to be in that place, right? But subconsciously, obviously, I didn't know what was really happening, but that's where I was at. I was in that place of like, please don't leave me. Whatever I have to do for you to like stay, like, I'm willing to stay. Okay, you did this. Okay, it's fine. We'll just move forward. It's not a big deal, because I want my family. I need my family. Like, that's so toxic and it's so unhealthy, because it doesn't matter if you have kids and a mom and dad in that home. If the mom and dad are not healthy, that family dynamic, it doesn't matter. You don't just stay for the children. I stayed for my kids for so long. If I didn't have my kids and if I didn't have that tether to keep me here, that family, because that went back to the trauma I experienced, I would have been left, because there was nothing keeping me.
Mentally, physically, healthy in all aspects.
You have to be. Like, when we got back together, we really looked at our marriage and it was like, dang, can we even count all those other years? Can we even show up and say, oh, we've been married for 15 years? I don't even feel like that. This is a whole new relationship, a whole new marriage with two completely new people. However, you always have to look at your past and have gratitude for your past, because your past is the reason as to why you're where you are now, right? So when you go through that healing process, you go through this process of realizing you have to forgive yourself for the decision that you made a long time ago when you were a different person. I had to go back and I had to apologize to myself and forgive myself for being in a marriage that I felt like I wasn't valued or I wasn't loved. But if you don't have that for yourself, you cannot expect anybody else to have that for you. That's why that healing, like, I can't say it enough, that healing is so important. You have to go through it. If you don't go through it, you will never know who you truly are in here.
Yeah. And like what she was saying about the choose me, because you're not choosing yourself, you want other people to choose you. And the energy that puts out, it pushes people away.
Right.
It's not attractive at all. And that was something that I realized over the course of our relationship. Felt like I had all of this weight on my shoulders and I have to be like the exemplary man because all of these other men didn't carry their weight and like live up to their potential. So it was very much so, like you said, pick me. And what that really does, that energy that emits is like back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, not an attractive thing versus someone that's like, shoot, I'm the one.
Versus who I am now.
That's how she is now. You don't need nobody for anything. I want you. I don't need you.
Right.
Like, love myself. I don't need you to love me. You know what I'm saying? It would be great. Let's love each other, but I don't need anybody to complete me.
And it's a subconscious thing too. It wasn't like we would have situations and I'm like, no, babe, please don't leave. So don't imagine me just like begging like for this man. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about like on a subconscious
like how
level.
You act.
Right. On a subconscious level of like, we have a situation and I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is. Subconsciously, that's what I was doing. I was saying like, okay, you did something and it's okay. Like, I still want to be here with you. We're still going to work through this. We still got this. Like, no.
Hurt people hurt people.
Right.
And when I really look back at it, like our relationship, because I was hurt and I had a lot to heal from, for me to be able to cheat on her and she's like, that's fine. Let's just move forward. That, if you're hurt, like a person that hasn't healed, like they're going to take advantage of that. And I feel like that's what I did. It ain't no consequence. All right, I'm going to do the right thing. Because the higher version of me, the good person in me wants to do the right thing. But that subconscious part that hasn't healed, that hasn't went through the process dealing with trauma, the worst that's going to happen. You're going to go through a little trouble. She's not going to leave. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's a completely different situation from a person that you know, like, bro, you're not going to try them with that.
Right.
You know, if you do this, you know, it's severe consequences, right? This is guaranteed. It ain't like, it might be fine. Like, nah, they ain't going like that. So
Yeah.
it causes you to act in a different way and treat people with a different amount of respect. I have a completely different respect for her now than I had back then, because she demands that respect because of who she is internally. Like, you can say whatever you want out of your mouth. And a lot of people like to pretend and play the
Yeah.
role that they so confident, you know, within themselves, and they have all of this power and authority, but energy don't lie. You can feel energy. I can listen to your words all day and I can read your energy. So you can try to lie, but like, I
Yeah.
know you ain't about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Now, like, you feel it. Like, it's no doubt, you know, that she's confident within herself. It's no doubt that she loves herself. It's no doubt that she knows that she's gorgeous. Like, that stuff is important.
Yeah.
Pay attention to energy, the real spiritual underlying of things. Stop trying to fake and be phony for everybody because you want people to see you a certain way. See yourself a certain way. When you see yourself a certain way, everybody else has no choice but to see you that way. They
Yeah.
got to reflect that same energy back to you.
Yeah.
Why you get people that walk into a room and you feel energy shifts, they command the room because they're walking in authenticity. They're walking in pure love for themselves. So they're able to be at that authentic highest frequency.
Right.
And everybody else that isn't vibrating at that frequency, most of the time they either gonna move around, they're not gonna like that person, or they're going to, if they're on the same frequency, they're going to rise together.
Yeah. Basically, that separation was key for us. It was everything. Like, for people that are going through a separation, you have to focus on you. You cannot spend so much time focusing on this other person, what they want you to be for them. You have to just be for yourself. You have to become who you want to become for yourself.
We do one-on-ones with people, and when we talk to folks about their relationship, it's always the same thing. Inner work.
Yeah.
When both people do the work, they'll come together in a beautiful way, because in the end, all you're doing is healing yourself.
And
Healing you heals every relationship in your life by default. It's either going to fix it and bring you and that relationship closer, whoever that may be, family member, whoever, or they're going to exit out of your life because they can't resonate with this new frequency that you're on. They don't like the healed version of you, because the healed version of you doesn't allow them to misuse you or take advantage of you or talk to you in a certain way or treat you a certain way. They wanted the old version. So either people are going to attract to you, y'all going to heal together, or people going to exit your life. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
If you got one person that doesn't want to do the work in a relationship, it's only going to go one way.
Right.
If this person isn't going to do the work and heal, you got to decide how important you are to yourself.
Right. You have to want to be better. The whole healing process, it's just wanting to become someone new, wanting to release yourself from all of these emotions, all of these feelings that are impacting your life in a negative way, and wanting to move past that, which means move forward in healing and become someone new and experience something new. That's literally what healing is. Like, you can't expect to become a different person, have these different feelings that you want to have, live in peace and joy and calmness and all of these things when you have all of this weight on you spiritually, emotionally, right? You got to release all that weight from you so that you feel lighter, so that you can flow in peace, in love and calmness. If you have all of these things that are bringing you down, how can you flow in peace? How can you flow in just this light state when you got all this weight on you?
Yeah.
It's very difficult, and it's a subconscious thing. Like, people don't even know that, like, they have healing to do. And that's why our separation was so important, because we allowed ourselves to be separate from each other, and we had to just be by ourselves, and we had to figure out, okay, like, what am I doing? What do I really want in this life? Am I okay with being by myself? Do I actually want to continue this experience with him and be with him? I got to a point where I was cool either way. I already knew deep down we're not getting a divorce. I already knew that, like, felt that to my core. I prayed for my family and my relationship every single day. When I was separated, I spoke to what I wanted. But here's the thing. It wasn't a thing of, I want to be with this man. That's not what I was speaking to. Like, I knew God was going to heal and restore. I knew that because he gave me the vision for that. He gave me the plan for that. So him coming together and saying, oh, I'm just willing, I'm here. I'm like, okay, cool. God already told me what we need to do. So let's do it. That's why I say, like, this is so spiritual. This is so spiritual. Everything is spiritual.
A lot of stuff in the Bible that I was taught, it didn't make sense until I started going into seclusion and learning for myself and just connecting directly with God. But like the scripture, we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities. That's a real thing. And when you realize that we're all spirits, then it'll start to make more sense. Like, it's about frequency. It's frequency. You know, when people say, what, you think you better than me? You think you higher than me? You think you're above me? What they're really saying is you're on a higher frequency than me.
And that's okay, because we're all on different levels, though. That's
exactly.
The thing.
It's okay. And the crazy thing is we go up and down based off of each and every decision that we make.
Right.
Every single decision that you make is bringing you higher or lower on a frequency level. So that's what it was for us. You're just like swimming. It's easier to pull somebody down than it is to pull somebody up. There's always energy being exchanged. And we're finally to the place where now we're helping raise each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, need help? Okay, here you go. I got you.
Right.
Oh, you're not feeling good today. I need some help. All right, cool. You got me. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's got to get to. And so we're going to give y'all a lot of stuff coming up, like showing you like the different things that affect your relationship, like communication, food. That's a huge part. People don't understand like health thing and how like health affects your relationship and your spiritual, your vibration, your frequency. Like so many things that we take for granted. And we're thinking, oh man, we just having mood swings. I just feel good one day, I feel bad the next day. No, it's everything is contributing to our vibrational frequency.
And if you're going through a separation, don't ever think that God can't restore that and heal that situation, and you both can become someone new and experience a completely new relationship, because it's very possible. And we can say that because we've done it, we've lived it. So try your best to not speak on situations that you haven't experienced for yourself. But if you come from a place of openness and willingness to see and to try, hey, I'm just going to experience this for myself and just see what happens. See how it goes for me, because that's the thing. Everybody has to figure out what works for them, right? Like, we had to be those people that we were back then because this is what God had for us right now. So who I am today would have never dealt with the things that I dealt with back then. Same thing for him. Who he is today would have never dealt with the things that I did, because we're completely different people now. However, we had to be those people back then because those people back then turned into these people. And these people right here have a new and restored marriage and relationship. God did that. That's just, there's nothing else to even say about that. It's spiritual. God did that.
And I want to be very clear. God is not something that's outside of you. God is not this man sitting on high that's judging, and God is a frequency. God's inside of each and every one of us. God's inside of each and every living thing. God is in everything.
Yeah.
All you got to do is tap into the frequency. Just tap into the frequency. Be the highest version of yourself and help heal you. Help heal your relationship. Help heal your life and your situation.
Right.
And that's what we did. So separations can go many different ways. It's up to you, that direction that you want to take, how you want to move about in this situation. But if you want to restore it, it can be restored. If you want to just restore yourself and move forward in a different way, it's perfectly fine. Have your experience. That's the thing. We don't condemn. You know what I mean? You don't have to do this particular thing.
Right.
You move forward that in a way that gives you peace and which brings you joy.
As long as you move forward in healing, that's what moving forward is. Moving forward is moving forward in healing.
That's it. So if y'all need any consultations, reach out to us. We're here for you. But just remember, don't focus on the fruit, focus on the root. All right? Peace.
Bye.